I don't know, but you may feel very alone with your questions. It is very common these days. We have no one to talk to. It's very difficult. I often say that the worst loneliness we can face in life is not that of the body. It is not the feeling of having a lonely body. No, the worst loneliness we may face in life is that we have no one to think. We are not having who to share what we feel. We don't have the opportunity to sit next door and without saying many words, without articulating many things. We have the opportunity to say so. You don't know what I went through today. The most beautiful is, you've heard me so many times. Understand, enter each other's tent. So, if I want to understand you, I enter your tent. I see life for its focus, for its environment. If you want to understand me, you enter the tent with me. You will observe the world from my place. This is very good when you feel understood, when you don't have to multiply words to another, have access to what you are feeling, what you are thinking. So, it's very healthy when we build such an intimacy. I am still the first responsible for my happiness, but I find people who are willing to live with me this search. So when I feel lonely, what is the worst loneliness that plagues me? It is sometimes not having to think about. It is the loneliness of thought. It's loneliness, perhaps. The worst. When you married a man with such a woman, and you sleep in the same bed all your life, and you feel you can't even think loudly, because your world doesn't matter to the other. The world of the other does not interest you. Your feelings don't matter to anyone. That house full of people, and you so lonely with your pain, and you so alone with your hurts, with your feelings, and no one will somehow approach. It's okay. When we lack this, we create the ways for us to get. At least there is a small understanding that makes us stand the moment. That's why I'm saying you may experience the worst of all solidity. You don't have the opportunity to have someone who listens, who is interested in you. I know it's hard. I know it's very difficult. That's why I have created every opportunity for us to be able to talk. That for me it is good too, you know. I never forget. So being here with you, somehow, talking, participating in the space that you allow me is an ineffable pleasure. Because I am also stocked when I talk to you, when I have the opportunity to share my life with you. And me from the bottom of my heart, to me, since a boy, all the pain in the world touched me very, very easily. I live everything here. I'm not flower of the skin. I'm not a guy who keeps to feel later. No, life impacts me all the time. And the pains of people, they are mine too, by vocation. It is impossible for us to be a priest and be indifferent to what people suffer. So, as a priest, I know my role. And I know that what you sometimes need is someone who listens to you or someone who talks to you. My participation is only valid in your life if it is to awaken you, to wake you up First, for you to be aware that you are first responsible for your happiness. You are the first responsible for your happiness. If you happen to need me, I always want to be here. Ever. A commitment of never allowing my social networks that my place to meet you may be an obstacle to happiness for them is to add. We gave the example. Some people seek the escape in drug, in violence, in socialized prostitution, seek escape in alcohol, and we were saying that we have 1,000 wonderful escapes. We get drunk from friends. We get drunk on good literature. We get drunk on music, because that's it that we need to do. So many wonderful things here at our disposal. So many wonderful artists who have created spectacular, unique works to make us get out of us and not be alienated, right? Because sometimes we have the impression that leaving us is to stay there forever. No, it's equal to the climb to Mount Tabo. that the disciples had the temptation to say, "Sir, let's get some tents here. We set up some in the intention of our prophets, our ancestors, and we stay here the rest of our life. We never go down to the plain again." And Jesus said, "No, we go up. It is to redo the spirit. And then we go down to live better with those who need us." My dear ones, may God bless our life, our hearts. If you think this content was important to you and it can be for someone, I recommend it. May God bless you a lot. Never lack this first movement that makes you the first responsible for your happiness. I find it interesting a person here saying, "Father Fabio, love is an imposition, a duty, or is it a virtue?" What do you think, Christian? Good question, isn't it? Is love a duty, an imposition, or is it a virtue? What is this guy wanting to say? Precisely, if it was easy, Christian is saying, it would not be a commandment. It is interesting that love condenses both possibilities. Happy from the one who managed to love because there was natural empathy. What is love? It is the process of wanting well. We talk so much of love that we risk understanding the true meaning of love. To love is to want well. When you tell the other, "I love you so much that when I was a child, I just thought I could say, 'I love you.'" The man to the woman, "It's not like this. We didn't have it in the past." It was a typical expression of those who were in love, of a love that erotic could say, or in love. I remember the first time we started hearing this. The father tells his son, the friend tells the other, Our Lady. We were afraid of this expression. Say "I love you." When I have the courage to say that, it means I want you well. Wanting good may be a gift, but it is also an imposition. From the moment I live, the dynamics of Christianity within me, I have by obligation want everyone well. Guys, here comes a very subtle distinction, which can be dangerous if we don't understand well. Wanting well is always favorable to the happiness of the other. I will do absolutely nothing to harm your happiness. I will do absolutely nothing to disturb your life, and I will always be committed to your good. I will not be violent with you. All forms of violence. I would not be aggressive with you with my words. I will not be deducted. Lightness. This is a word that we need return. We are very deducted from each other. Sometimes we feel the right to tell the other everything, when I really don't have the right to say everything to each other if I have no intimacy with him. Sometimes we go beyond the territories of others, and sometimes we say more than we should say. Sometimes we are invasive. We ask more than we should ask. The other day I lived a situation there in Belo Horizonte. A great friend of mine suddenly told a story that she was so annoyed, so angry, because someone was invasive with her. Asked a question that was not part of the context of that intimacy. I had no intimacy for the question to interfere so much in life, and she was upset, annoyed, and right. Wanting well, that's it. I have a Christian commitment to the world. I will not live to do harm. I will not live to defame. Even though I do not agree with the other. Even though I have no communion with a way of thinking about the other. I can treat the differences, but I will respect. I don't need to attack. I don't need to be rude. I don't need to use words that will be less, that will humiliate. There is no need for it. I may not agree with each other, but I will be smoothly not to agree with elegance. This is part of life. It's cradle. We learn, or then we will run after to have. We talk less. We are not so repetitive. People are not so spathy in our communications. You have that limit of to what extent you can guess in the other's life. But you want well. But it doesn't mean you have to establish close bonds. because you will have your friendship group. You will have your proximity group. This is your right, and it will only be part of your intimacy. You will only enter your home. You will only be part of your world, those with whom you have established a bond of trust, security, isn't it? Of faithfulness. No one gets friends overnight. It is construction. Friendship is construction. Now love, it will always be a rule for any and all relationships that want to be a Christian. I lost here. The person who said was, I don't know what the surname would do. And I remember she was saying like this, Father. She, by the way, was living a conflict because Twitter is so complicated. Sometimes the person wants advice here. No. This is much more interesting to propose a reflection, because in 140 characters we can't handle issues, sometimes so serious that people present here. Even because Twitter is not MSN, for us to stay so many people. So it is a place that we can even propose another reflection, but it is a very restricted place of communication. But this lighter communication we do in every day that I find it absolutely healthy to approach. We feel closer to people. But she was saying a lot in this context, Father. I have difficulty repaying love to someone who treats me very well. Then she asked, is love virtue? Or is it an imposition? I would say that it will always be an imposition, and from time to time will be in us a wonderful experience of gratuity, of virtue, that it accomplishes us a lot, and that are situations that you will find for life, and that you will know how to differentiate when it is an imposition. I need to love because I need to respect. I will not denigrate. I will not get your territory dirty. Because I have respect for you, I take good care of who you are, but at the same time,